All yours, Brian.
All right. To all the good people all around the world, Youth Now on Track Services officially welcomes you to the 2020 Youth Leadership and Empowerment Forum Conference. Can I please get a very professional round of applause and some love in the chat from everyone that is joining us here tonight? Yes, I love the love. I feel all the energy right now. See, for those who don't know me, my name is Brian Jose Boateng, and I'll be your moderator for tonight's event. And just to give everyone a reminder of what tonight is all about, YNOT Services brings to you Canada's greatest youth leadership forum and expo, because it takes a village to raise a child. This nonprofit organization stands by that belief as they aim to impact and better the lives of at-risk youth, as well as those from low-income families through many of their programs and initiatives. Events such as these with a goal of positively empowering the youth of tomorrow will surely help in reducing risk factors that increase the chances of youth interfering with the law, alleviate stress from peer pressure, to help to build coping skills, to find purpose, and redirect energy to make positive choices for the future in a secure environment. Today and tomorrow from 4 to 5 p.m. at Eastern Standard Time, we will not only discuss youth empowerment and environmental sustainability, COVID-19 and how to manage the stress it has brought upon us, youth technology and artificial intelligence, youth and financial literacy, youth leadership and succession planning, and climate change. We will not just discuss that, but we will also provide the solutions that will help conquer the obstacles they bring, while helping each and every single one of us in recognizing our potential to be excellent in this world. I am sincerely honored to be here today. I'm happy that everybody that is here is able to join us for today's event. And I am so grateful for all the sponsors that helped us make this event possible. Sponsors such as Peach, the Toronto Catholic District School Board, Toronto Police Service, JVS Toronto, Higher Up, Associated Youth Services of Peel, Laborers International Union of North America, For Youth Initiative, The Brick, Catholic Children's Aid, the City of Toronto, Service Canada, the Province of Ontario, and the Toronto Fire Service. If it wasn't for your amazing contribution to the youth of tomorrow, we would not be having this event today. And I would not be moving forward with today's program. So please, would everyone do me the utmost honor in welcoming our very first panelist for tonight's event. She'll be discussing the importance of youth empowerment and environmental sustainability. She is the executive director and founder of Sankofa Arts and Music Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Marian Ashton.
Okay, there we go. Hello. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. Hello to everyone out there across the globe who is tuning in right now. And thank you, Brian, for such a wonderful introduction. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about the blueprint and assumptions, social context, systems, institutions, histories, and how that shape us, and how we as youth, how you guys as youth, and we as mentors can come together and help you create the blueprint as you move forward. Before I get into it here, I would like to acknowledge my fellow panelists. So great to be among some of the greatest minds in our country. It is such an honor. So thank you so much. So let's just jump into it here. So I got the call and from the Youth Forum of 2020 and to talk about youth empowerment. What is youth empowerment? And I took a moment and I really had to think about a lot of the things that's unfolding. We have seen a lot of civil unrest within the last couple of weeks. There's so many different things that's happening right now. And I thought, why don't we talk a little bit about the blueprint? And what does that blueprint say about us? What does our blueprint say about us? And the first little bit I want to talk about here are some assumptions. What are some of the assumptions that is made about you. Um, it's often quite very difficult, especially in the technological age that we live in right now, to challenge some of the assumptions that is made about us, and how do we challenge those assumptions, right? And we need to begin to question, are they accurate? Are they valid? Is it okay for and is it okay to reject society's definition of your existence? This is not always an easy task. It is not always easy for you to define yourself and the society and how society sees you. um, I want to reference to Maya Angelou has a famous quote that says that if you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. And so this forum, when we talk about the theme is the future you want, you are amazing. You have to redefine what normal is and know that it's okay to be who you are in the skin that you are. Okay. And so again, when it comes to the assumptions for anyone out there listening, those assumptions does not get to define who you are. So who gets to define you? Who gets to define you? Who gets to define me? Brian, who gets to define you? Okay. Should society dictate who gets to define you? Or should it be you? Okay. Um, I would argue that it definitely should be you. You hold that power. You hold that key. You are the engineer of how you show up in society. Okay, in spite of the assumptions that is made about you and around you. Okay, understand where you come from and the thinking that has been passed on through generations. And that is important. These past ideas and beliefs might not reflect your current reality. That you have the right to challenge those assumptions, that you have the right to a different life, and you have the right to define you. So again, when it comes to those assumptions and who gets to define us, who gets to define how we show up in society, you are the one who has the right to define that. Now you may ask, Miss M, what does drawing, how do I draw and create my own blueprint? It is important for us to acknowledge that decisions and beliefs that you hold today will impact your future. Every decision that you made today and the beliefs that you hold plays a very important piece on the outlook, the outcome of your future. So to ensure that you have your own blueprint, I'm just going to throw some ideas out there at you as to where you can begin. Begin by believing in yourself. Believe by believing in your self-worth. Know that you are worthy. Know that your gifts and your talents are yours, and that you have a right, you are entitled to them, and to go after them and to explore them. Believe in your endless potential. There is no limit to what you can accomplish. There is no limit to what you can do. The potential is endless. It is forever. It is endless. Go after it. Never ever give anyone the power or the authority to make you feel like you are less than spectacular. Can I say that again? Never ever give anyone the power or the authority to make you feel like you are less than spectacular. So today I want you to, well, we're here tomorrow. So over the next couple of days, I want you to make a promise that you are going to start with yourself and tell yourself that you are spectacular. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I am spectacular. I am worthy. I believe in myself. My gifts, my talents, my potential is endless. Okay, so I want you to start. I'm giving you a little bit of a homework. Okay, I know school is a bit crazy for some of us. Here we go again, giving us homework. But yes, I'm giving you some homework. I want you to start with yourself and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself how spectacular you are, how there's endless potential that lies within you. And tell yourself that as many times as you need to. And then I want you to find three people, be it a friend, a family member, that annoying little brother, okay, or that annoying big sister, or even your parents, but find 3 people over the next couple of days and let them know also how spectacular they are and that they have endless potential as well. Okay. Um, Now let's talk a little bit about social context and why that matters. Our social context and environments shapes how we see ourselves and how we fit into this world. And when I thought about this, I thought about many combination of worlds that some of us as young people, is it okay, Brian, if we call ourselves young, are we still youth? Yeah. um, how it's those many worlds shape. With those combinations, sorry, of those many worlds. I know sometimes in working with youth here, there's such a disconnect between the world that has been imposed on them, a world that they may not have known or never knew because that's their parents' world, and then so much of the world here and having to navigate that. And so you have now a combination of all of these many worlds, technology. Our sister Idoma would be talking soon around COVID. This is a new world that we have to now navigate, right? So what happens when you find yourself at such with combined worlds, you find yourself at a crossroads, and society sometimes find that you become a contradiction. Okay, this includes your social media persona, right? A lot of times a lot of us have a social media presence and people may say something, and even then who you project to be online, that's not who you are. um, do not lose your self-worth. Do not lose your self-worth at every point of every contradiction. Stay grounded, stay grounded, stay focused, stay firm. If you are treated in a certain way, James Baldwin said, if you are treated a certain way, become a certain kind of person. If certain things are described to you as being real, they are real, whether you believe them or whether they're real or not. So define what real is to you. Stay focused, stay grounded. Um, let's talk a little bit about systems, institutions, histories. If I may, I saw a lot of the civil unrest that I referred to earlier. I looked at what happened in Nigeria. Here in Calgary, we had a citywide walkout across the globe right now. We are challenging systems and a lot of those systems and the histories that shaped us, that told us, define how we should show up in society. It is crucial that you understand that history that you came from and how this history shapes you and the societies and the institutions to which we function. Recognize that a lot of our systems and those histories have been imposed upon you and therefore shape your experience in this world. However, however, this does not automatically mean that it is your reality. You have the power to reject the assumptions made about you and create your own path. You have the ability to create your own path, okay? So much, let's talk a little bit about reality. What is one of the realities that we live in right now? COVID. And I can't wait to hear what our fellow panelists have to say about COVID. Um, so much has changed. My God. Many of us went into, at the end of every year, we do our, what do you call it, New Year's resolution, and we look forward to the new year. None of us saw this coming. None of us saw this coming. I don't think any of us could have prepared for this. And my heart breaks for the youth across the globe having to navigate the new reality of COVID. Relationships have changed, family, our connection, political system, structures, our environment. All of that are some of the new realities that we have to deal with. So when you feel like you don't fit in, if you feel concerned, bewildered, maybe at times even destitute, um, with the current framework of your society right now, because so much of it, I would say, has designed with the exception of your existence, okay? It's okay, again, to reject that definition and to redefine yourself and your place in this society. That is okay to do that. So, Miss M, how are some of the ways that you would suggest that we empower as youth? How can I empower myself? And I don't know where you may be listening to, whether it's in Canada, Nigeria, the Caribbean, wherever you may be in Toronto. Um, I'm just going to give you a quick couple of few points here. How to empower yourself, determination. Find your passion, and whatever that passion is, or those passions are, do we know that it is okay to have more than one passion? I'll tell you two of mine. I love engaging with youth. I love talking with youth. I love helping. I love listening. Adults who are listening, sometimes we do more talking than listening. I love listening. I love interacting. Um, I also love cooking, and I am equally passionate about. I'm not sure if I'm a good cook. I'm not saying I'm a good cook. I'm saying I'm passionate about cooking. So find your determination, find your passion, find our passions, and whatever it is, whatever they are, be the best that you can be at it. Okay. So point number one, determination. Point number two, commitment. Commit yourself to beauty. There is beauty even sometimes in the midst of the storm. There's a calm, there's a stillness. Commit yourself to beauty. Commit yourself to love. And start by loving yourself. That annoying little brother, that big sister who wants what's best for you sometimes that you don't always see, your parents, your friends, your teachers, your church community, your youth group, okay, your neighbor. Commit yourself to love, to kindness, to peace, to justice. Okay, so we have determination, we have commitment. The next point I want to talk about very briefly is self-transformation. Believe in your ability for endless growth, change, and greatness. Believe in your ability for endless growth, for change, um, and greatness. Do not make anyone tell you that you can't. Do not make anyone limit you. Okay. The next point, very quickly, self love. And I'm sure during COVID, and I can't wait for that piece, the importance of self love, the importance of taking care of ourselves, the importance of disengaging. Loving and understanding yourself is the ultimate goal and will empower you to reach your full potential. And last but not least, mentorship. Find yourself a mentor. For those adults who are listening, let us make ourselves available to be the channel from which to which these youth can come and approach us and be help them create that blueprint that we're talking about. So the future we want, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Um, three things very quickly. The future that we want, that future is now. That future is you. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not next year. It's not 10 years from now. The future is now. You, the youth, you are the future. You are that change that we need. And I apologize, but why is the onus on us? Because you are the now. You are that future. And without you, we don't exist, to be perfectly honest. So remember that future that we want, that future that we desire, it begins with you. It begins now. And so if you prioritize collaboration and connection, then you will create and influence that change to create new system, new environment, new realities, a new society that we so desire. Um, Thank you so much. I hope that helps. I am so grateful to be here. If you want a copy of the notes, I'd be more than happy to get it out to the right people to get it to you. But it is such a great honor. It is such a great blessing. I am so honored. Be blessed, be safe, and be the change. You are that change. You are that future, and that future is right now.
Thank you so much, Marion, for your wise words of wisdom. Before I really get into it, we're gonna move on to the Q&A part of Marion's segment. there's a Q&A box within in the Zoom call, and you'll be able to ask questions that I'll be able to see, and I'll be able to ask Miriam those questions. But so as people think of some questions to say, I'll just start off with one in my head. Marian, one of the things I believe that's hurting people's progress is consistency. I've had a big problem with consistency myself. You have an amazing, vast amount of knowledge of just empowering yourself, staying motivated, but how long can that really motivation, inspiration last due to so many things going on externally and internally in one's life? So, what is your advice about being empowered and motivated and really reaching your true potential on a consistent and daily basis?
I think it is very important that we surround ourselves with like-minded people. I think that is so important. When you're able to figure out what that passion is or passions are, and you're right, the external forces and internally as well. And there's so many things that's happening around us right now. But I think a very important piece of it is that self-determination that we talked about, finding that mentor, right? Having a group of people that you can call on. I have a few core people, and depending on what it needs, sometimes I just need to laugh. I kid you not. And I have the people that I would call, and I know they're going to say something that's going to make me laugh. And that's all I would need in that moment for me to ground myself again. Know that it's okay to pause. It's okay to pause. It's okay to go back to the drawing board. It's okay to make mistakes. You erase it and you start again. Push through. But it's very,
Mhm.
very important. I think if I were to pick one thing, is maybe find a great support system who you can align your dream and vision with, and who can be of great support.
Awesome. Amazing. Amazing. So I guess we can move on to the next question. So Alejandro asks, what would be your advice for not thinking too much about the future to really convince myself that the future is now and don't get worried about what is going to happen in the future? So how to focus on the future, but not getting super anxious and nervous about the possibilities of what's to come.
You know what? Enjoy the now. Enjoy the beauty of now. Have a plan, right? Have that blueprint. And so you know you have goals, you have something to work towards. But we have to, it is important that we live in the moment. It's important that, especially as young people, that we learn to pause and enjoy the now, see the beauty in now. Tomorrow is going to be there. It doesn't matter how much we reacted today, tomorrow is going to be there. So enjoy the now, find the beauty in now. And as life unfolds, I really do believe that within you lies the potential. And also in building your external pieces as well to help you navigate this blueprint, to help you navigate this process. You are not alone. You are not alone. But it is so okay. I totally understand the anxiety and the future is unknown. Enjoy the moment, see the beauty of today, have your blueprint, and find out all the different components, and that includes the people who can help you even when you do get anxious, and what is it that you may need to help you navigate the whole process.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there anyone who may have other questions? Okay. Rachel. Rachel asks, what advice would you give to the youth, especially the Black youth who needs to focus in self-development?
Oh boy. You know what? I think self-actualization. This is a tough one for me. I'm not gonna get emotional, and I'm gonna try and do it in 10 seconds. Um, know who you are. Um, my heart breaks, particularly for our Black youth. I think it is so layered. We have a responsibility as adults. We have a responsibility as adults. We owe you so much. And let me say, on behalf of society, on behalf of systems, on behalf of institutions, we have failed you. We have failed you. So many of the world around us, society is designed with the exception of your existence. We have failed you, and for that we apologize. But keep on keeping on. It will get better. I believe that we are in a new season. I believe that there is a shift. And so get in alignment, get connected with your youth groups, get connected with like-minded people, and stay focused. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be easy. But stay focused, find your voice, use it, and stay connected. Get connected with your church groups, get connected with your youth groups, get connected with your inner self, your inner man. Okay, I know it's very layered, it's very, very complex, but you can do it. You can do it, and we have all the faith in the world in you.
I love it. I love it. Rachel, I really hope Marion answered your question to the best of her ability. I hope you're satisfied with the response. Let me just double check if any other questions. Okay. Stay grounded, stay focused, and stay firm. I'm sure those powerful words will surely resonate with myself and many of the great people joining us here tonight. Thank you, Marion, for giving us some of your wise words of wisdom, your valuable time, and thank you for blessing us with such empowering words that many of the youth need to hear today. Thank you so much. And before we move on to the next part of today's event, I would like to give a big shout out for everyone to coming in. And but before we move on, we will need to take a little bit of a short commercial break. See you in 60 seconds. My apologies.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom Rakosovic, Member of Provincial Parliament for my lifelong home riding of Humber River Black Creek here at Queen's Park today. I want to wish you a very special congratulations. Congratulations to YNOT, Pastor Francis, all of the volunteers and organizers, but most of all, congratulations to the students. You are our future, and within this program, you are learning to be leaders, and you will be mentored to think about tomorrow, because one day our lives are going to be in your hands. You're going to learn all about technology, artificial intelligence, environmental sustainability, a personal favorite of mine, and I hope you will plant many trees throughout your lives. I just want to wish you all the best in this program, and I want to wish you and your family health and prosperity in this future. We're all in this together. Take care.
Thank you so much, Tom, for your wise words. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I would like to move forward with the next topic for tonight's event. See, COVID-19 has tremendously changed how we initially wanted the year of 2020 to be. But please do not fear, because the next panelist will provide us with not only how to accept this new reality, but how to manage the daily stress that comes with it. She has a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a registered nurse at the Humber River Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Ijeoma Obeki.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thank you everybody that has logged on at this time. It's a pleasure working with this great team. And this evening, I'll be talking about COVID-19 and the stress management, like Brian said. So now I would like to share my screen for us to see some of the things I'll be talking about tonight. Okay, so we can say it, COVID-19, how to manage stress. Okay, so our goals tonight, first of all, we are going to remind ourselves what we know about COVID-19, what we know about stress. Then we are going to link stress and COVID-19 and how we are all affected. And then we are going to talk about how to manage this stress. So what is coronaviruses? You know, coronaviruses, not everybody may know, but it's a large family of viruses that causes illnesses, ranging from the common cold we know about to severe respiratory distress or severe diseases. And COVID-19, which is coronavirus disease, is a new strain. It has not been there. They just found out about this COVID-19 2019, just last year. We all know where it started. And what are the signs and symptoms of COVID-19? From respiratory symptoms, like I said before, our common cold, everybody, I know most of us must have had common cold before. So we have fever, cough, shortness of breath, breathing difficulties. And in severe cases, it might come up with pneumonia. It can come up with acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS. And ARDS, not everybody may know, is a situation when we have fluid build up in the tiny air spaces in our lungs. And these air spaces, we call it alveoli. So what they do is when they accumulate there, they will limit the amount of air that goes into our lungs. And everybody knows what happens when we have that small amount of air in our lungs. We are not gonna get enough oxygen. And when we are short of oxygen in our bloodstream, it will deprive the organs from getting the oxygen they need to function. So that's what ARDS means. And it's a very severe case when it happens. Another thing is kidney failure and even death. So many people have died from COVID-19 and we know about it. How does this COVID-19 spread? You know, before when this COVID-19 started, first of all, we heard it's airborne, it's droplets, it's there, but science research still maintain that it's droplets, not airborne. And we can contact it with our hands and we can get it from the surfaces. I will go to this later. So COVID-19 spread mainly among people who are in close contact. We can see from my diagram, this person in red is the infected person. And we can see how the people around this person got this virus from him or her, I don't know, it's just a person. So that is how it spreads. So when we're in close contact with anybody that has it, we can easily get it. And when the person coughs, sneeze, or even talk, and the person will spread the virus in the air, and anybody around that place can inhale it. And when it goes in, that's how it starts the infection. And recent studies indicate that people who are infected but do not have symptoms, you might be with somebody not coughing, not sneezing, not having any fever or any of those symptoms we mentioned before, but they have that symptoms in them. And whenever you see them talk or even sneeze occasionally, they will still spread the virus. That is the latest research. So this is just a diagram to explain what I said before. So this man here, you can see him, uncovered cough, just blow on the air. And whatever we are seeing, the white part of it is the virus spreading. And this other person is close by. So this person is inhaling those virus in him or her. And that's how the person will be infected. Another one is our hand. That's why when you look at it, social distancing, washing off your hands, those are the major things we need to do at this time to combat COVID-19. So contaminated surfaces, we touch it or we did not doorknob, our table, any other surface, because this virus, when somebody gets it out of them and it launches on any of the surfaces, it can be there for a while. And as long as it's there, we touch it, we can get it. Handshake, hugging, or anything, contact, we are spreading it. So what is stress? You know, whenever we hear about stress, many people will be like, okay, I don't want to be stressed out. But I want to tell us today that stress is a normal response to situational pressures and demand, especially when they are perceived as being threatening or dangerous to us. So that is stress for us. Stress produces hormones. And what this hormones does is to make us breathe faster, to make our heart rate goes higher, tense our muscles and prepares us to take action. You know, it makes your eyes to see clearer what you've not seen before. It makes your mind to think faster, and it helps you to take immediate action. So in a way, stress is a normal thing for us. A certain amount of stress is a normal part of daily life. It helps us to prepare for our exams, be productive, and meet up deadlines. However, long-term stress can be harmful. When stress becomes overwhelming and prolonged, the risk of mental health problem and medical problem increases. So what are the effects of long-term stress? Long-term stress can predispose us to mental health, like I have said before, mental health problems, or worsen already existing mental health problems. It can increase the risk of anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and sleep disorders, and every other thing, you know, that will make us not to achieve our goal. Medically, it can lead to headaches, gastrointestinal problems like heartburns, you know, diarrhea, and all other problems. You know, when we present this problem, we look at it from the medical side, not knowing that it's just stress that is causing all those problems. Weaken the immunity. At this time, we need immunity to combat infection, but stress can reduce our immunity. High blood pressures, cardiovascular diseases, and stroke. So what are the common causes of COVID-19 stress? What is it that we are facing at this time that is like too much stress on us? Number one, quarantine. Quarantine is separating non-symptomatic people, like I said before, people who are exposed to the viruses, but they are not showing the symptoms. So we tend to separate them to make sure that they are not symptomatic or that the virus is not in them. Isolation, separating symptomatic people from others, including family members. Public health actions like social distancing can make people feel isolated and lonely and can increase stress and anxiety. However, these actions are necessary to reduce the spread of COVID-19. The above measures will help us combat or slow spread of COVID-19, but it can negatively affect some of us who are not able to cope with the disease. COVID-19 pandemic may be stressful for people. Like I have already said before, fear, anxiety about the new disease, what could happen next. This can be very overwhelming and can cause strong emotions, not only in adults, but youths and children. Coping with stress in a healthy way will make us, the people we care about, and our community stronger. And that is why we are talking about this evening. So now we have seen the general cause of stress for everybody. Let's get down to the individual pandemic experience. And the major thing we have seen this time is loss. Loss of so many things. Like Brian rightly said, COVID-19 pandemic has really caused a great deal of loss and grief for so many people. The experience of loss is one of the hardest things we can face. One of the most distressing things about this pandemic is the amount of stress that so many of us will need to process. And what are those common loss? Loss of loved one or friend. You know, many people have been unable to be with a loved one before or even during their death. Working in ICU, I have seen so many people dying with their loved ones, seeing them, looking at them through the Skype or through FaceTime. You know, during this time, number one, They are not able to be in the room. They are not able to be present to hold or touch this patient when they are dying. The patient will not be able to feel their presence because they are just there looking at us, maybe doing one thing or the other. They are not able to talk because at that time, the medical team are working on the patient. You can see how difficult it feels for loved ones to see their loved one dying and dying alone because of this pandemic. They cannot come in because of the coronavirus. They cannot come in and touch this patient because of the coronavirus. You know, there are other things that change. Bereavement becomes so challenging at this time because during this time, there is nobody in person to support you. That support is not there. Funerals might not be the way they are supposed to be or the way we used to know them. Loss of job. So many people lost their job at this time. Many business owners and stores closed their door because of coronavirus. And many are still facing the risk of closing permanently. And all these things put our income to a stop. And for those of them that are able to keep their jobs, they might need to work from home. So they are losing that working environment. Their daily routine is like disturbed. Everything about their life is like change. Many people in their office, they walk around, move up and down, and part of exercise now need to sit one place and face the computer. And for those of them that are opportune to still maintain their job and go to work, you see them having total different routine every day. Loss of routine and hobby. I have already said part of this. Presently with much restrictions, most of us are not able to do many things that we love doing every day. From going to work, spending time with families and friends, going to gym, other hobbies, other routines that gives us sense of structure and purpose. They are not available to us at this time. These changes can be hard to accept and may cause a profound sense of loss. Loss of academic loss. Students, they have their routine. Because of restriction of COVID, students may have lost important opportunities like placement, excursions, summer employment, interrupted courses, canceled graduation celebrations, and other things around our schooling. And this is very, very difficult on us. Another one is loss of or harm to relationships. There are so many broken relationships at this time due to so many things going on, quarantining, social distancing, and so many things, increased conflicts and abuse between couples and families, separated and divorced parents. They have more challenges because of the physical distancing. They are not able to come together and plan themselves. Social connection. Isolation and quarantine means you stay alone in your house. You don't come out, you don't socialize, you don't go with anybody. And this is something that is very new to us. Loss of mental health support. For people with mental health supports, now all of us are facing this tremendous stress because of COVID-19. So when we look at those that already has mental health problems, existing mental health problems, their level of anxiety and challenges are much, much higher. And again, during this time, for them to get access to professional support is highly limited. So grief, what is grief? You know, the way we react to loss is called grief. It is a normal process and it's a natural process after loss. However, it can be very painful to walk through. Grief can affect our emotions, our thoughts, our behavior, even how we feel physically. The way we express grief outwardly is called mourning. Everybody knows that. Mourning can take many forms depending on individual and culture. And common form of norms of mourning we know is crying, writing. Some people can write, rituals, religious practice like prayer, singing, and so many things. You know, how long we grieve depend on individual, family, and community. It also depends on our relationship and the value we have with the loss. When we mourn in a healthy way, we may gradually come to a deeper understanding of what we lost meant to us, which helps us to eventually restore hope and motivation. In this way, we can slowly re-engage in our daily lives, even if it means in a different way than before. So grief and mourning are normal process of loss. However, some people can persist and it may overlap with traumatic experience and reactions. And those reactions might be mental health problem, substance abuse, unable to get back to routine, physical health problems. And I want to tell us that when you notice that you are not able to adjust with anything around you, then you need to seek for help immediately. Healing from COVID-19 stress and loss. You know, like we know, healing is a process that is unique to each person. It may take a short time for a person and a longer time for another person. But all the same, we really need to heal. What are the recommendations on how we can begin healing process and manage COVID-19 stress? I think this aspect, everybody is waiting for it. Number one is name your challenges. You know, we all have one big problem, and that big problem is COVID-19. However, we have our different challenges. Going through this period, going through this challenge of COVID-19, everybody faces it differently. And we are all at different levels of stress. So naming your issues, your struggles will help you know what to do and how to tackle it. And it will bring clarity to what is going on around you. You know, you can do this. You can just state 5 challenges or struggles you're going through at this time. You list them from the least to the most difficult one. And when you list them, you try and tackle them one by one. Break them into pieces and ask yourself, what can I do to overcome this? Do I need extra support? Do I need to let go of this so that I will be able to do this? So name your challenges and work on it. Take things one day at a time. It can be very overwhelming to think about all the changes and loss this pandemic has brought, and even what to come that we don't know about. If we constantly worry about whether things will get better today, tomorrow, next month, next year, it will affect our moods. It will increase our stress level, and it will reduce our motivation. Taking it one day at a time will help us overcome this anxiety. The next one is practice self-care. And the question I have there is, why is self-care important during this COVID-19? Why is it very much important now than before? You know, in response to COVID-19, we have to make major changes in our routines in order to keep ourselves safe and minimize risk for everyone in our community. In many cases, COVID-19 and measures taken to address it have impacted our sense of safety and security and have shifted our sense of connection and belonging to the loved ones. Now we want to take care of our older parents, the younger ones. We want to take care of everybody around us, but we forget to take care of ourselves. And that is why practicing self-care at this time is very, very important. So, like I said here, it will help us to support our own wellness, because when we are strong, when we are healthy, that's when we take care of every other person around us. It will help us to protect and promote wellness in our mental, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual health. We are going to take it one by one and see how we can do it. The first one is physical wellness. This is when all organs, tissues, and muscles in our body are functioning well. So for us to be strong, for us to be healthy, we need all our system to be functioning well. We can achieve this through getting enough sleep. Yes, I know. Somebody might ask me, Joma, how do you think I can sleep well at this time when all these things are going around me? Yes, you can do it. Just self-determination. Tell yourself, this time I need to sleep. Relax yourself. There are so many relaxation method you can use. Deep breathing exercise to help yourself relax and sleep. Eating healthy diet is very, very important for us this time because we need to build our immunity. Without immunity, we cannot combat COVID-19. Drinking enough water, being physically active. Yes, I know gyms are closed now for some cities, but yet you can still make yourself active. The sidewalk is there for you to walk. You can go get outside, get fresh air, and walk around. Managing existing physical conditions. Yes, at this time, getting to the doctor's office might be very challenging. Getting your medication from the pharmacy might be challenging, but you can plan yourself. Like I said, list your problems and list how to tackle them. By the time you tell yourself, I need to be healthy and I need to get my medication from the pharmacy, you start early. Don't wait to take the last tablet before you go for your refill. Give yourself time and walk through all the protocols so that you get your medication and stay healthy. Social wellness. Humans are social creatures. We are all meant to have relationships and connections for our health and wellness. So social wellness can be supported by maintaining, our usual supportive network. During this time, even when we cannot physically meet with friends, we cannot come together, no gathering, we continue to feel supported by our network by staying connected online or through the phone. Engage in an online connections with your family, friends, classmates, co-workers, and social groups. Join online social activities like fitness group and community fun. Let's remember that community care is an important aspect of social wellness and utilize them as much as you can. If needed, connect with your community support like Kids Help, connect with a therapist, a social worker, or even your faith-based leader. So, mental wellness is the ability to create a context where our mental state can flourish. So self-care wellness is also maintaining and managing levels of stress in both duration and intensity. If you cannot manage your stress within your limits, then you try as much as possible and seek for help. We can practice mental wellness through taking a little bit of mental breaks, and practice exercises. That will help you to alleviate the negative impact of stress. When you sit in front of your television and you hear all the numbers going up every day, you hear all the number of people dying every day, it will add to your problem. Just take a break from all those ones. Think of other things. Try to take control of yourself. Try to take in charge of what you listen and what you don't listen to. Let go of those things that are outside your control. What you cannot control, just let them go. Do activities that will give you a sense of control. Ask for help when needed. Talk to somebody. Reach out to family and friends for help. Reach out to your community for help. Talk to a doctor or seek for referral for professional support. Emotional wellness. It's about being in tune with your own emotions and feelings. It's very normal to feel sad. It's very normal to be angry. It's very normal to be frustrated. However, it is important to check your emotions and accept them. Do you speak to yourself with the level of respect, kindness, and compassion the way you speak to your loved ones? That's a personal question. If the answer is no, then you have to make a change. Because we really need to speak to ourselves with respect and kindness. And what we need to do is check in with your feelings, your thoughts, your behaviors. Know your ups and downs, and be able to recognize when you need help. That is the only way to check your emotions. Get yourself space to feel your emotions. Do what you like and feel the moment of sadness with things that will uplift your emotions, like watch a movie if that is what you want, singing, praying, in any form you want it. Just go ahead and do it. But don't allow yourself to soak inside darkness for a long time. Somebody was saying today, we miss the hugs and love. You can love yourself. You can just wrap your hand around yourself and give yourself a warm hug. Love yourself. Let yourself know that you love yourself. That is the way to go. Spiritual wellness is about striving for a state of harmony between our belief and action. How do we do this? So you connect with your faith-based or religious community. You find one thing to feel positive and grateful for each day. Do not allow any day to pass by without you being grateful to yourself, without you finding something that makes that day a day for you. Prioritize your activities and relationships that are meaningful to you. Be ready to help others and make a difference in their lives. Because when you see other people happy, you will be happy yourself. Okay, that is the end of my presentation and time for questions.
Thank you so much, Ijeoma, for that insight, in-depth. Wow. If anyone was uncertain about COVID-19, I'm sure they are not uncertain about it now. Thank you so much for really breaking it down, the emotional distress, the physical, routine changes that COVID-19 has brought upon us. And is there any questions that we might need to ask as of this moment? I currently don't see any. But I'm sure if anyone has any other questions, we will most definitely forward them to Ijeoma and get right back into you as soon as possible. And with that being said, thank you so much, Ijeoma, Marion, and every single one of you guys for joining us here tonight for day one. Yes, I said day one because some people may have thought this was a one-day event, but no, this is a two-day spectacular. We have more panelists and another guest speaker coming in to share their wise words of wisdom to you all during the same 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please be aware of your inboxes. Keep your inboxes open, your notifications turned on, because a new Zoom link will be, or maybe the same Zoom link, we'll find out, will be sent to you in your email. So please be aware. Again, thank you so much to YNOT Services for your hard work in building the youth of tomorrow. See, through inspirational and informative events such as today and tomorrow's, while also putting a smile on every child's face through many of your fun events that you hold during your annual summer camp. Thank you so much, YNOT Services, for putting in this fabulous event that we can have tonight, even though it's in a virtual environment. Again, so once again, thank you everyone for coming out. I hope to see everyone and more tomorrow. Keep your inbox and emails open, and please join us as we do our best to help strengthen the youth for a better and brighter future. Please do your very best to never forget they have the potential to be excellent, and we will see you all tomorrow. Until next time.